Sad news out of this hectic scene here in the Bronx. Fire officials confirming that Battalion Fire Chief Michael Fahey was killed in this explosion. All three suspects waived their right to a trial and took a plea deal inside the courtroom today. That caused that vehicle to crash through what was once a standing fence here and overturn into that icy pond. We're about an hour until the two candidates go head to head. And crews working against some harsh conditions here today on the ground, a mixture of snow, sleet, and ice getting in the way of putting out this raging fire. But Madeline, calling this a Christmas miracle, says the truck only left these tire marks in her front lawn and some minor damage on the staircase. Working to recover the body of that third crew member, Harry Hernandez, and also to collect evidence. Let's show you what this looks like. CJ, not a trace of blacktop out here. The road's completely covered in snow. It's coming down pretty strong. At times it's hard to see, and those winds are picking up. Again, throughout the city, there's just been increased law enforcement presence, just letting people know that they're there if they need them. This trial expected to start on January 9th here at the federal courthouse in White Plains. Could take up to 4 or 5 weeks. And a disciplinary hearing is being held on Friday for the suspended chief. Many out here rallying tonight tell me they plan on coming back here. The money that you're spending at New Jersey pumps may not be so cheap anymore. And then, of course, to the Tappan Zee Bridge, first opened in 1955 and credited with transforming Rockland County. We've learned more about this property here on Old Mountain Road, where those 4 bodies were discovered. Nassau County officials are hoping that residents will get their holiday shopping done right here in town. On the tires, it's what many cars look like out here, making for some very dangerous road conditions, saying that he didn't need Governor Cuomo to tell him how to protect his local taxpayers. His comments on stage here today obviously reflected different feelings.
I hope you rot in hell. That's what I hope for you, that you rot in hell and your mother feels the pain that I feel every single day.
A mother's powerful and painful words for one of the 3 suspects responsible for her 23-year-old son's killing.
How in God's name am I going to survive without my son?
It was in September of 2015 that baseball star Michael Nolan was shot in the head while standing in the parking lot of a Yonkers Burger King in a drive-by shooting. The Oakland A's baseball prospect spent 3 weeks in the hospital fighting for his life, but died from his injuries.
I remember standing there and telling me that the bullet traveled, and within 48 hours, my son would be brain dead. I'm thinking, no, they're lying. They're lying to me because he's a fighter and he's gonna make it.
In July, the 3 suspects charged in connection with the shooting waived their rights to a trial and took a plea deal. Tejmitra Singh was sentenced to his promised plea deal of 11 years in state prison. Darren Dawson was sentenced to 9 years in prison. The shooter, Nishan Hunter, who pleaded guilty to manslaughter, was expected to be sentenced to 25 years in prison today. But according to prosecutors, he was not cooperative during post-plea deal interviews.
This is somebody I swore to protect my whole life. And because of 4 cowards, 4 cowardly acts, they took him. Just like that. No regard, no nothing.
At today's sentencing, Nolan's mother and brother stood before the courts enraged and heartbroken while reading emotional impact statements. The suspects remained expressionless, as they did when Judge Warrett shared his own personal words with the defendants.
He had a gift. You took that away, not just from him, but from his entire family and a community. Thoughtless, cruel. You should live with that for the rest of your life.
Now, aside from the legacy that Nolan's family says he leaves behind in the community of Yonkers, we've also learned that Nolan was an organ donor and was able to save 6 lives. Now, Nishan Hunter, the man who admitted to shooting Nolan, will appear back here at the Westchester County Courthouse on November 16th for sentencing. Reporting from White Plains, Ariana Lubelli, FiOS 1 News. It's been over 90 years since 105-year-old Anthony Mancinelli picked up his first pair of scissors.
Oh, everybody's amazed. He's sharp as a tack.
The devoted barber and World War II Army veteran was one of 7 children. Cutting hair was a way to help support the family, who migrated to Newburgh from Italy when he was 8 years old.
I come in and go to work because I like to meet the people. We get together, talk, and know about things.
His 80-year-old son says his dedicated father, independent and healthy, has always been a hard worker with a passion for people.
He's living all by himself, still working, still driving his car, and he enjoys it. He doesn't want to be a couch potato.
He once owned his own barber shop in Newburgh. Now he's stationed at Fantastic Cuts in New Windsor. It was here at the age of 101 where he earned a Guinness Book of World Records title.
And when the Guinness Book of Records exists, that I was the oldest working barber in the world. That's how I broke the record.
He snips and clips before a line of awards proudly placed before his mirror, with letters of recognition from Ripley's Believe It or Not, Michelle Obama, Governor Cuomo, and other elected officials. But for everyone who's wondering, he has no secret other than good faith.
Everybody wants to know I have a secret. I don't have a secret. They want to know what I'm eating, what I'm doing, something that's keeping me going. I'm doing the same as anyone else. The only thing that good Lord is giving me enough health and help to keep me going.
Next month, he turns 106 years old with no plans of retiring. Reporting from Vales Gate, Ariana Lubelli, FiOS 1 News. Mike and Courtney, one person killed and about 100 residents without homes on this cold March evening. And here at the scene, the fire still burning. You could see crews and equipment here on site working up against some pretty harsh conditions of snow, ice, and now wind. We spoke with some residents who were displaced, and they're now relying on the help of Red Cross tonight. A raging fire ripped through this 6-story apartment building on Hawley Terrace in Yonkers, claiming the life of one resident and homes for nearly 100 others.
It started just with one apartment, now it's spreading.
The Yonkers Fire Deputy Chief confirming that the victim was found on the 5th floor, which is where they believe the flames broke out.
It looks like it started on the 5th floor, but I don't know the apartment of origin. And unfortunately, that's where we had a fatality, on the 5th floor.
Neighbors tell us that the victim was a man in his 60s.
But we just cross paths every now and then. We just say hi, hello, bye. And he's a pretty nice guy in his 60s. It's sad. It's very sad.
Gilbert Essen lived on the floor above the victim. It was around 3 o'clock this morning that he woke up to frantic screams and a cloud of smoke.
Around 3:20, my neighbor started banging on the door, screaming fire. It was very close. I just thank God that I'm still alive and I'm still breathing, and hopefully everything is going to be all right.
Trina Ellington says she turned on the TV to see her father's building up in flames.
Then I had to hurry and get my car out of the snow and then rush over here because he called us from somebody else's, a neighbor's cell phone. He was right on the 4th floor where it started on the 5th floor, so right underneath the apartment that it started.
He and dozens of others spent the day at the Red Cross Response Center that was set up on North Broadway.
Just keeping the families warm, keeping them updated, and letting them know the Red Cross and all our community partners are here for them.
This as more than 80 firefighters worked around the clock to contain the fire that's still burning. And those icy conditions you see right there caused some minor injuries for firefighters who slipped and fell on the ice working to battle this fire. We're also told that the ice weighed down tree limbs, which caused them to snap, making a dangerous situation in this area. At this point, the fire victim's identity has not yet been released. Reporting from Yonkers, Ariana Lubelli, FiOS 1 News.